I have around 20 years of IT experience out of 10 years in Agile coaching. Currently, I'm working as an enterprise Agile coach in Atos.
What about Nitesh? I know him, but
Yeah, I worked as a Scrum Master and Agile Project Manager, having a 17 years of the experience. In IT sector, I have 5 years of the experience in IT sector.
so I think people are still waking up on Saturday. Let's start with the forum. My name is Ravi Bhaskaruni. I'm also enterprise coach and taught a couple of people right now teaching Agile and other things. And I would like to thank Sanjay Sain sir from Agile for giving me this opportunity. So I just want to go through my Agile transition journey. Let's go through the Agile series presentation. This is all about what kind of experience I have in Agile transformation journey. Right. So as I said, it's my name is Ravi Bhaskaruni. I'm a career coach and enterprise Agile coach. And do you face any challenges in your journey? Like maybe it is agile or something else?
Yes, Ravi, the recent project which I was associated, so in that project, uh, we uh, we were following the agile, but not 100% the agile. It was somewhere they followed it as a hybrid, somewhere it is with the old model, and then somewhere it is with the agile. So
Yes.
we were not following absolutely 100% the agile process. First of all, the
Yes.
first thing, and due to this, we had a good amount of the backlog, and we deviated from the goal as well to achieve the goal as well.
And Nitesh, anything from your side?
No, it's Nitesh. I was Nitesh, and Nitesh was telling.
Yeah, it's Nitesh. Okay. What about Nayak, right?
Yeah, so this is Mallikarjun Naik here. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. If you ask me the agile transformation, yeah, I mean, any organization, it is a journey, rather, I would say. It's a continuous improvement. You focus on that.
yes.
And yeah, if you are doing it step by step in an incremental manner and at a sustainable pace, or it can be with respect to the organizational culture, people, or the tools and the process they have, we have to align to that and I mean, go in a way that it shouldn't disrupt the normal BAU, and we have to handle different stakeholders, and it's a change management, right? Which we need to,
Exactly.
yeah. So are there to those steps, and it cannot happen overnight or in a month or two like that. It's a journey,
Yes.
so that should be understood. That it is an incremental and evolutionary change that we
Yes.
must understand. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Nayak and Nitesh. Yeah, I think more or less you have covered everything. Let's go and see. I think we have roadblocks everywhere, whatever work you do, right? And then what are the common roadblocks? Like, people mindset, lack of leadership support, reluctance from employees while change is inevitable, right? Constrained by existing structure and culture, gaps in coordination of IT department, lack of strategic alignment, failure to build comprehensive overall agile transformation, technical agility. So I think if you go on like of for anything whatever you do, you will have a lot of roadblocks, a lot of things. So basically, we need to understand the current state of the project. Like for example, most of the cultures are like very individualistic. Like the business, they all verticals are. So I took this slide from Scaled Agile. So you have business, and everybody is working in their own perimeters, their own areas, right? That's where it will be blocking for that. So traditionally, what you see is like a lot of organizations, like it's like department head, frontline head. It's a kind of metrics organization, and everybody wants to take their own ownership, their own kind of thing. So why we need agile adoption is you are getting the agile access software delivery, able to manage patterns, increase alignment between the teams and business, increase business value and all. So basically, how are we doing, right? So if you ask me, so if somebody asks you, okay, do this, do that, right? First of all, you go and understand what is the current state of organization, right? So accessing current organization state, that's the key thing. and trying to understand the organization. Like maybe what it is. Let's say you go to a doctor, you say like there's some pain is there, so doctor will take the readings and maybe you will write some tests, and then you will look at the reports and then suggest. So same thing what we are doing is we are accessing the current state of organization, and then we, let's say you have, if you go to a doctor, you have like 10, 10, 15 different problems are there, then you will prioritize which one to solve first and which one is next, like that. So that's where you have identification of strategy and key results. So you have to identify what are the things which we need to solve now and solve later, solve in next year, and then you start with the implementation. Implementation is helping organizations to identify the teams and groundwork for implementation, right? Then everything goes around. So any questions here, Mike and Verma, or any experience from your side?
Yeah, so whatever you output is the right ones, and these are the steps. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it goes. This is how the transformation steps goes on.
Exactly. Basically, what you do is like assess the findings, maybe come up with a kind of Excel sheet where you record all the statements, right? And then you come up with a study. For example, the areas maybe like, let's say in the case of agile transformation, actually, for example, team is not mature, team is not doing Jira properly. We record it, we assess. Maybe we'll send a survey form to each other, and then we collate the survey forms and then come up with like, what are the top three things we need to fix, what are the top four things we need to fix, right? So that's where a question of strategy and key results. For example, you first identify what is the first thing we are to fix, right? So let's say I want to deliver Ola or Uber product out, and so what is the vision of the product? That's what you talk about, and then focus on top level objectives. For example, the feature one, feature two, feature three, feature four. Everybody voted, okay, I need to work on feature one, feature two, like that. Or maybe in the case of our organization, we thought first one to fix is ceremonies. Second one is to fix this product backlog refinement, right? Like that, you try to do everything. You try to fix on other things and then build a strategy and framework and identify the key results. So how do you implement it? Identify the current state of organization. For example, we are not able to deliver product properly. Then you identify that and then train the leaders and change agents. If the training is required, to change them. And if not, you can go to work stream level. Identify which work stream, like we need to fix feature one, we need to fix feature two, we need to fix feature three, whatever, right? So you take the features and then and create the implementation plan, and then again train the leaders and teams, and then agile adoption and transformation. So this will go on. This will go on the cycle until we are done with our existing projects. So I think so far we have covered our transformation approaches and steps, assessing the current organization state, and then identification of strategy and key results. And then we went to implement a roadmap where so we try to implement everything and then come back and close the journey. And what is the desired outcome? For example, so here, what are we trying to do? Right, come up with new ways of working. Right, accountability and transparency in the process, innovate and response change to emerging needs, timely relevant document and reporting, flawless communication after long process. So what we do is we change is like regular communication during the process. So traditional roles and hierarchical systems, we talk about empowered role in more flexible systems. So anything you have implemented like this, Malikarjun and Nitish?
Yes. What usually we do is note down if you are talking about the desired outcome, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, old ways of working. What you mentioned is absolutely fine.
Yes,
And what is the expected outcome in terms of people, process, tools, infrastructure, whatever it can be? Yeah,
yes,
probably we need to list down them. And yeah, yes, instead of phase gated delivery, you need approval for certain this decisions, right, from the authority, how we can
Okay.
decentralize, so the decision making, and it's all about it should be the desired outcome. I think, right, this is what directly or indirectly this slide is stating. So it should
Exactly.
align to,
Exactly.
so those four values and 12 principles. So that should be the outcome. And and it's more about delivering value to the customer and behavior within the performing organization, cultural shift, mindset shift, and how they value, right, the efficiency or the customer satisfaction, or all this takes into consideration. Like when the outcome should be what value you are delivering to the to the customers, and how you are increasing the time to market, and what is the quality that you are giving to the customer, and agile maturity. It can go all these things. Yes.
Can you guys introduce quickly?
I can go first. So my name is Ritesh Sena,
Yeah, please.
and I'm the global head of Agile at Kimberly Clark.
Nitesh.
I'm working as a agile project manager and having a 17 years of experience, out of which 5 years in core in the IT industry.
So sorry, we just started and then forgot to allow everybody. My name is Ravi Bhaskaruni. I started my career as a Scrum Master, then Agile Coach. I don't know. It's not okay. Agile Coach, and also started helping people in training and upliftment of them. Okay. I just started some time back, but maybe I can recap. Right. What are the roadblocks you have experienced before and during Agile transformation? Right. And then I covered like what are the common roadblocks, like what we usually face, right? And any questions on this, guys? We were joined after some time. Okay. So the main problem is like a siloed culture where every department works independently and there is no coordination, cross team coordination and all, right? And also the problem is how the traditional organization looks like. It's all command and control, right? And then also mentioned why organization need agile adoption. So all these parameters, right? So this is what I started like. So this is where I started doing this, like transformation approach and steps, right? You assess the current organization state and then identify the key strategies, right? And then yeah, so basically you assess the current organization state and then you identify key strategy and initiatives, key results, and then implement. So it goes on the loop until from the start to end, right? And how do you assess the organization is you talk to stakeholders, talk to people whom you are going to work, maybe your product leads, product owners, customers, and then you assess the findings. So and then you provide the summary. So in let's say I have like 10 items. In 10 items, what are the top two items we need to solve? What are the third item we need to pick up? All that comes under current organization, right? An identification strategy, like you have a product, and then in the product, what exactly you need to fix. So let's say I have to fix the user. Second thing is maybe my finance model is not working properly. All that, right? And then implementation roadmap for the current state. Where are we, and where do you want to go, right? In that journey, let's say the team is working on .NET or team is working on something else. You train the leaders, train the changing agents, and identify the work stream. Which work stream I need to talk to? I need to clear. Do you need to clear the US region, or you need to clear Northeast, or you may need to clear Southeast or whatever, right? Then you create implement plan and train the teams. And then agile adoption transformation. You go in this loop, right? From the start to end. Any questions here so far?
Yeah, Ravi. What I would like to also add is that we are going to identify some change agents and form a guiding coalition with them.
Okay.
Yeah, so then probably they will be helping us in the transformation journey. If you, if I say like, I mean, if the leaders, strong leader communicates the vision and everyone wants to follow it. For that, right, we need to have identify the change agents and champions, and
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
form a guiding coalition so that, right, they will spread this message of agility or the change.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Ravi,
Exactly.
Ravi, you're talking about agile transformation. So we're moving from a non-agile to agile.
Anything like either moving from non-agile to agile also is fine, and then maybe in the agile only just trying to see where we can reach. Right.
So are you looking for only product development company, or it could be anything, service and product development?
Anything. There is no problem, right? We need to move from one state to other state, right? For example, my productivity, let's say 10%. I want to increase my productivity by 30%, something like that. So it's not exactly related to anything IT, non-IT, like whatever it is, right? It's just an example of where I worked, what I learned in different interviews. I'm trying to give a roadmap for the success of any project.
No. Here I would like to highlight one thing which we implemented when I was at CA Technologies. So when we were actually transforming to Agile, CA was a product development company. So we identified multiple products, and then there were many products which were running in a command control mode. They were in autopilot mode.
Okay.
So we really don't. You just ignore them. You just tell them, boss,
Okay.
these projects will not transform to Agile.
Okay.
Because they're already running smoothly. They're minting money. So
Yes.
don't put a nose into running wheel.
Yeah.
System will break. So
Yeah.
you should only. So when you say agile transformation, not the entire company will transform into agile. We'll need to identify a subset of things where we will transform,
Yeah.
and we will also identify few projects or products where we will say, boss, they are already running fine. Let's not touch it. In any subsequent feature releases or major releases, we can think about it. But first, we should not really rush on those things.
Yeah.
So if something is minting money, if some product A to Z are minting money, don't
Yes.
touch them. Start with something new, a fresh one, so that you are not disturbing the revenue generating model.
Exactly. So don't fix until it is broken about. Or maybe I have already.
Yeah.
And also, I need to see, like, if anybody wants to understand, okay, is it good or bad? Maybe we go and take one or two teams and try to start this process. And then if everybody is liking, then we can go with complete transmission. So it's not like, recreating everything for entire organization. Maybe we'll see like which is the best project or which is the best manager who can work with, something like that. Actually, same thing we did in Baroda when I was with different company. That's where it is. So we try to identify assets, and then we build strategy and key results, then implement a roadmap. Again, whatever project we are chosen, that is what we are going to do it. And then maybe we can expand it for team 2, team 3, team 4, team 5, whatever, right? So the desired outcome is old ways of working versus new ways of working, right? Any questions on this? So any additions, Sriram?
No, just one thing, as I said, I don't know if I missed that or not. The why is important. Like if they are saying like we want to transform, first thing, as somebody said, right? Like don't trouble the trouble. First, we need to ask why they need to get into the agile transformation. That buy-in should be there. Yep.
Exactly. Correct.
So yes, that's where it is, right? Like the current state is good, and the gap we need to identify. What is the current state and what is the ideal state? The gap, that is the problem identification. Then we can get into the solution.
Exactly. So identify the gap and which gap we can in that gaps, like which gap we can close easily, right?
Yes,
which gap we need to fix it, right?
Yep. Where it needs. That's what the problem identification is.
Where I can get more money, where I can trust. Yeah.
Yep. The problem identification is much more deeper, actually. Like we always say that, right? Like problem half identified is like half solved.
Probably right. The stakeholders, high level stakeholders, they want to identify why they want to move towards agile. The first thing is why, and they need to have a vision. Yeah. So probably right. The why could be they want to improve the time to market, and they want to differentiate from their competitors, and they want to improve the quality, Yeah. So these are the parameters, right? Which the vision company has. These are the main goals, or I would say objectives, or the goals that they want to achieve, and how to achieve. Probably agile might help. Yeah. So that's how they take this journey.
Yeah, the five W's we say normally, right? Like
Yes,
why
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
they need it, what they need it,
Okay.
and for who they need it is also important.
Yes.
They think
Exactly.
it is a
Yeah.
problem. Yes, it's
Yeah.
not a problem for all, right?
Yeah.
Like and when, that is also important. Within
Yeah.
like say
Yes.
like okay, take your own time, finish the 5 minutes job in 1 minute. Oh, that won't work here. So that
Mhm.
W is
Correct.
also
Correct.
important.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
One thing with everyone I'd like to discuss, we discuss most of the point, very good thing that Shekhar also, you highlighted the five W's and then transformation, how we are transforming. But sometimes it's not always with the team, like the Scrum team facing the problem moving to the Agile, but in some of the cases, the stakeholder side also, they are reluctant to move, accept the changes and move to the agile one. So how we are means what should be the plan and the roadmap to handle this kind of the situation? Because I have been in this type of the situation. Anybody's
Yeah. Yeah. So
point? Yeah,
probably can I share my experience?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So you see, like agile transformation means it is not a top down or bottom up. It should be everywhere.
correct,
Yeah. Then only it will be successful. Yeah.
correct,
Okay. So what I feel is when you go for any transformation or any change, yeah, and there has to be a transformation team, agile transformation team, which
uh,
means that there has to be a high level stakeholder, like it can be CEO, directors, or project manager. I mean, mixed people should come together, and they should treat this transformation as a project. Yeah, they should have a clearly written their own backlogs. After that, we need to identify one or two teams, yeah, one or two project teams which we would like to transfer. And you see, like when we identify one or two project, those project, yeah, should be less risky. If we do not achieve the outcome, it shouldn't be too much risk. Yeah, and the project should be strategically important for the organization. Yeah,
correct,
yeah. If it is not important, people will not feel the need to write. I mean, work on that. Yeah, and then right, we need to identify teams for that. One or two agile teams. Then start working on that and observe. And we need to introduce agile coach, and you should observe, provide the entry patterns and recommendations, and continuously train. And you should be a part of those ceremonies. The one agile coach, and you should observe and have I mean, suggestions, improvement plans, continuously train the team, and make the team successful. I mean, we need to identify some quick wins,
mhm,
celebrate it, and motivate the team. Yeah.
yeah, mm,
So that we
Exactly.
should do.
Yeah.
And once one team becomes successful, right, in one or two sprints or 4 5 sprints or whatever, then probably right there are, then what we can do is we can take this change to other scrum teams, other projects. This can be there are two ways, like dismantling the existing team, and like I mean introducing one or two persons in other squads or scrum teams. Or what you can do is you can introduce some external coaching and follow the best practices. These are all basically created as a pilot. Yeah. We
Yeah.
cannot go in a big bang. I mean, change
Yeah.
cannot happen in big bang. There will be
Yeah.
a lot of resistance. I
Yeah.
mean,
Exactly. Exactly,
yeah,
Mallikarjun. Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you, Mallikarjun. Yeah. So, any other
yeah.
questions from anyone? Like before I jump into
Yeah,
it.
there is also one more challenge here, right? Like when we go to the teams, actually for the agile transformation, always you might have faced this thing, right? Like, hey, business is fine, but you don't know nothing about the technology, right? Like, so to do this, like in some organizations, what they do is like they form something like a dojo. Dojo
Mm.
is a place like where set of coaches will be there, agile and process coaches will be there, engineering coaches will be there. So for doing transformation, they all go together because
Yes.
when they
Exactly.
talk in the technical terms, right, like
Yes.
we should have somebody who can understand the technology terms. The
Yes.
agile coaches need not be like a technology experts,
Yes.
right? That
Yeah.
really works a lot when
Yeah.
doing transformations.
Exactly. So I think there are different ways we have actually did it earlier. So in one of the companies, myself and other product coach, right, we
Yep.
used to be on the calls and try to understand their problems and fix it. Some cases, only agile coaches maybe focus on more on process side or more
Yes.
on engineering side.
Yeah.
Maybe product coaches will be added later, whatever it is.
Yep. When you understand the business, yes, definitely a product coach or a product skill set would be like a mindset would be a great added advantage.
Yeah, most of the cases maybe they are not even up the state. Maybe just they are not doing ceremonies properly. They are not doing ABCD properly. They don't understand the part better. Because
That's where it is. Like if that is a process thing, the more thing is like we need to make them understand why they do what they do.
Yeah,
that's where our the coaching skills lies, right?
exactly.
Like
Yeah, Ravi, I think I would like to add one good tool. We can use Net Promoter Score NPS tool to identify who are the promoters for this agile transformation. First focus with multi-level thing. Like there's a leadership team, a leader will have 10 direct reporters. Just send out this NPS. There could be 3 people who are really willing to participate in this journey.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Then within the 3 leaders, you just again go with the Net Promoter Score with the next level of people who are directly working under him. Then we will identify teams who are willing to participate in this journey. So it is always easy to win with promoters. So NPS is one excellent tool where whenever we are doing any transformation, no, first we go with promoters, identify teams who are willing to start the journey. Then once
in
we
NPS, like again, one drawback I see is a lot with the passives. Right, like the cat on the walls are really like yeah.
So that's the reason why we started promoters. So once you have promoters, and then once you start sharing the success stories, then we can convert those passive guys into
I agree.
Yes.
Let them be either detractors or promoters, not the passives.
Yeah, maybe selective or whoever is supporters, right? Maybe. The matrix who is supporters
have success stories. Then slowly we can move the next segment, and detractors obviously you can address them in the last.
It's fine. Yeah. Why we need to understand.
Yeah. So basically, in this case, also like in one of the project, healthcare project, what we are doing is we have like 14 team and then different stakeholders, like boss of Scrum Masters, boss of product owners, somebody from different departments. So we sent out the survey to everybody, right? That is almost took like a month to send it and get the data from each of them, and try to see who is actually having matching thoughts, who is having something different. Then we filtered out and say, okay, this team has ABCD things we need to do. This team has lagging here, right? In this team we need to look at changing Scrum Masters or product owners, whatever it is. So that's will be a huge journey. I think it doesn't. Maybe you need to have for success of this project, we need to identify what kind of survey I need to send, right? Whom to send, that's also important. In one organization, we sent it to survey to everybody in the team. In one organization, we just send it to only to the top leaders, Scrum Masters, product owners, and maybe leadership. So any other things we need to discuss?
Yeah, I think the survey results, when you say that it was sent to entire team, right? Probably that may not be a good idea at the beginning, because people think that they are being judged. Yeah, so something, right? We should build that confidence or safety among the team, that right. I mean, do something, do experiment, and even if you do not achieve it, or if you fail it, we are going to support you. But resilience, right? I mean, how you are going to bounce back to be on the time, that I mean, that psychological safety has to be there. I mean, if it is something, if someone does a mistake and everyone points out, use a harsh, right? I mean, comments on the failure part, then the other person will not open up on the improvement plans.
So basically, Mallikarjun, what we say when we send this survey, we say this is not your appraisal. This is not your appraisal. This is about
absolutely.
entire team's appraisal, and you are not going to be penalized. number one, right?
Yeah.
So that is.
I mean,
That is
it is not penalized. Rather, I would say it is a continuous improvement.
we
You
want
are
to
here,
improve.
you are at
Yeah.
10 now,
Yes.
and in another 2 months, if you become suddenly 60 out of 100,
Yeah,
you
that's
see, like,
that's
that is a jump, and we are going to value you how you are improved rather than what you were earlier.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we need to be careful in putting your words on all, number one, and then we tell them we are actually survey. We are actually it's entire team survey. It's not about you. It's not about your manager
Yeah.
or whatever it is. It's a more of a combined. It's kind of we want to build a better organization, and that's why we are doing it. And don't think this is any kind of performance review, right? So I think it's actually very difficult to tell them this is not yours, and then they come up with so many questions. So to avoid all these questions, we only went with Scrum Master and product owners and then leadership. And again, it depends. Each organization works differently, right?
Yeah.
And again, I just said old ways and new ways of working. And then one of the interesting journey is where I worked with a Baroda-based company. What happened was, it's very funny, right? Teams were a team A creates a requirement Jira, and they close the requirement Jira and then send it to development, and then they actually close development Jira and send it to testing Jira. Just like I know some organizations work weirdly. Like it is like here in the airline study. What we did is we started with team-wise assessment, and then the journey-wise we went to pilot teams and 2-week sprint, metrics and improvements, and then post transformation we went for company-wide reassessment. So are you able to follow me?
Yeah. So now we're able to read the slide and follow as well. Now it's clear.
Yeah. So yeah, correct. So it's kind of team historically, agile, old tech stack, siloed culture and leadership issues. Started with 5 days training and product backlog refinement to start with. Few sprints were observed and helped the team to rework. Tailored existing engineering process to a lean process. So we started with 2 teams. We identified .NET and PHP teams. And then we ran for 3 months. Then after that, they have completely transformed 200-seater company. I think they are doing excellent. I started in 2020. This was my first journey in airline. And second thing is, I think this is what I'm saying. Implement roadmap is identify the candidate of Scrum teams, identify SMs and POs. So identify initial product backlog, start measuring, and then localized changes, SM to tackle team level impediment, pilot team, SM to form a change task force, prioritize backlog to deliver key values, build, measure, learn. Enterprises strategy to sizing, scale development, strategy for distribution projects, align funding with lines of business. So this is a journey which we took in Baroda. Actually, this is for an airline company. So we took the statistics before because we have divided stories into Excel, large, medium, small, excess. After it, I think we just saw like in the entire agile way of cycle, we did 35 days. That's actually an average. We did 35 days for any story. And then summary of outcomes is, this is the summary, right? The duration was 18 months and 3+ months. So this is what actually one slider outcome we generated for over a month or over a few months. Any questions here?
Yeah, the 18 months, you mean to say like overall to see the outcome, it took 18 months here, after adoption, every 3 months?
No. 18 months actually when we started the journey, before adoption.
Oh, okay.
So before adoption, 18 months. After adoption, we just took 3+ months for total number of stories. I think the reason I'm saying is, okay, first they are creating requirement ticket and then close the requirement ticket to open development ticket. It's all boiled down to this kind of organization.
Okay.
This kind of organization. I take print line head, take the requirement, then RFP head has something, dev head something, yes head. It goes through the walls actually. That's where we need to create a kind of, we took people from different departments and created 2 Scrum teams, right? That's what it is.
Okay.
Two Scrum teams, and then 3+ months, number of stories. We did same number of stories what they did in 18 months. If you look at this graph, right, if you see the cycle time, right, 394,
Mm.
394, all right. So lead time is this, cycle time is this. Before the journey started. After the journey started, we don't have control on the lead time, but at least we could reduce certain lead time. Yeah. So metrics are burn down, burn up, lead time, cycle time, expected delivery, average cycle velocity. So actually, we didn't know how to show that we have progressed. That's why we actually went through backlog and created this kind of summary. So I tell them, like, 35 days is actually average record time delivery. So I went there and sat with them and started working together, changing the ways of development, changing the ways of everything. Right. So the 3 months was actually a roller coaster ride. It's like spent too much of time, and then the metrics of this, and then case study 2 is like a banking industry where we actually here what we did is we started publishing scorecards to teams. There are I think there are a lot of pods actually they call I don't know, it's kind of scrum teams where you create so many surveys and send it to them on different department heads. You see the scorecard and then start teaching them and start again coming back and forth. Right. Let's say some cases Jira was not good, some cases team maturity was not there. So this is actually compared to this success rate here was more compared to here actually because of banking organization. They won't allow you to do anything. Okay, you need to follow certain guidelines and all. So I think the journey this took almost 2 years, but the journey what we did in Baroda was like more beneficial and all because of the size of the organization. Your size is more, and you cannot do a lot of changes, right? You have to live with the existing problem, all that. Anything here? Any other questions?
Raviji, anything on the value-based matrix, like how what is the value they have created, what is the value they are creating, how much is the value they were creating before the training, after the training?
Okay.
Wow. Outcome-based.
Yeah. So this is also the whatever stories what we have picked, more of the prioritization of stories based on the value
Yeah.
generated. So here I think
Okay.
when I say the 88 99, there what happened was the backlog was full, and then they are just picking up whatever it is. Here we did actually to be frank on this. So where when we entered the building, the product was crashing and nobody was able to use the product, right? And they are
Okay.
like using Visual Basic or whatever. You can see that
Oh yeah,
Gujarat
I know.
is very difficult to tell them what to do, right? So that's where
Mm.
the GUI they are actually doing no, file transfer from A to B. It was taking almost a month, 1.5 hour, and user is to go to sleep and come back. Now we reduced everything. It's a more of process improvement, product improvement, and then reorganization of entire team. That's where challenge is. So delivering stories doesn't make any difference. They will be delivered, what features customer want and all, and then that's where the success was, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's where I would like to know, like, did we have anything like an ATTD, like TDD, right? Like,
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah, I think TDD ATD was too far away for the team, right? So we didn't
Okay,
even.
okay. Now
So,
ATTD is like more on the acceptance test driven development, right?
correct.
Like,
I understand.
so yeah, yeah,
Understand. So actually, it's kind of very maturing things that maybe we can implement. Let's say some companies
yeah,
were
yeah.
already reached there. Then how do you take it up?
I know. Like once they are into the cadence, then I think we should be getting more on.
Exactly. We are actually scrolling actually when we started.
Mm.
They started,
Yeah,
at least standing up.
yeah. So all these parameters, right? What measurements you are doing at
Yes.
team level,
Yes.
directly or indirectly, it will add value to the customers. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So probably did you have any measurement with respect to the what was the value you proposed and what was the actual value it provided to the end users or to the customers or to the market? Something like
Right.
that. Did you have
Yeah.
anything like that?
Actually, the CSAT scores were there.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then CSAT scores were there. Again, we wanted to. We are actually rushing there. So I think organized benefits are CSAT, time to
Yeah.
market, and the release cycle. It was taking almost. If you give them anything, they would not come out of their shell after 1.5 years. Right. We reduced the cycle time. Right. We reduced it. 6 months, and the process was improved. So that's where they could able to deliver faster. Right.
Yeah. So lead time and cycle time, probably it will help in going to the market faster. So time to
Exactly.
market, I think would have improved. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Will improve.
definitely.
Yeah.
We have seen before the eyes because the organization is so small, and then
Yeah.
we could easily control them. Not control.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
easily able to take them from one level to other level. Because
Okay.
if bigger organization is very difficult to get into that mode, and also you have a lot of bottlenecks here and there, right?
But probably it needs a rigorous scaling approach. Yeah. So
Exactly.
you need to identify the value streams and transform the value stream into a development value stream, and then release them into
Yes.
ARTs. Then
Yes.
form, break the silos and form scrum teams,
Yes.
get them into agile release train, and yeah, that level of scaling is there. But yeah, definitely it takes a lot of effort and commitment from all the stakeholders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I think the last one is healthcare, where we focus on more on strategy, scorecard usage. I think
Mm.
like banking thing also here did, and this kind of where while I was doing it in the banking company, I was part of many teams, many agile coaches were there, many people doing that. Here actually in the healthcare, I was the only one who were actually helping in the creating scorecard and working with 14 teams and leadership and all this, like kind of uh, creating whatever uh, maturity assessments is sending it out, getting the feedback, right? Then again, uh, trying to see whether the ceremonies are happening properly, whether ABCD is working or not. That's what the journey is. But here actually it's kind of challenging. Everybody was now working in US time zone. I'm actually working in India, so I think it's a kind of very challenging. I think one way is we have a lot of handshakes between me and my leadership. So this is what. So if I think that I think my journey started with this one. Sriram would know, and then second thing is the banking. Then now working on the healthcare product currently. So anything else? I think you guys are wonderful. I think it was very nice to have everybody on the call. Like, let me know if anything would like to discuss.
Uh, so can I take a minute to share
Yeah,
something?
go ahead.
Yeah. So I want to share this. You're able to see my screen?
No, I think I think you're not sharing anything. Yeah, you can tell, right? You can
Yeah.
tell whatever it is.
Sharing is not turned on. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, right, I have submitted an article in LinkedIn on
Okay.
Agile Matrix. So there, right, I have created different parameters which can be measured at the team level and at the program level.
Yes.
So I just wanted to show that Excel sheet. Yeah.
So I can send it. I'll actually cross post in different groups where you are.
Okay. So will I be able to attach here somewhere?
I will let you know. You can ping me. We'll connect together.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
So anything, Nitesh, Sriram, any other questions you have?
This is a really great thing, Ravi. Right? Like, see, learning theory is a different thing. Learning from the real-time experience is definitely a lot. People would
Appreciate.
get lots
Yes.
of value. Yes. So, thanks a lot, Ravi, again for sharing this experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, Sriram. Thanks for joining. Actually,
Yeah.
Sure,
Thanks,
sure.
Ravi. Yeah.
Thank you, Nitesh.
Thank you
Have
all.
a great day. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Have a great day.
Bye. You too.